So one of your reforms was removing immigration agents from Los Angeles County jails. What is that?
Well, this is something I've learned throughout the years, is that local law enforcement has a job to do. Immigration, ICE, they have a job to do, but they can't do their job together because one scares off the other. Like local law enforcement has to deal with, in LA County, there's 1 million residents that are undocumented, 1 million. We still want them to call 911. We still want them to report being victims of crime, to testifying as witnesses to crime, doing all these things. If people, those 1 million, view any encounter with law enforcement as a pathway towards deportation.
Because the police calls the ICE?
Yeah, they're not going to call.
Okay.
And who gets hurt the most is women. Sexual harassment in the workplace, domestic violence at home, everything that happens behind closed doors. Oh, you can't call because I'll call the ICE on you. And that is a worst case scenario.
Yes.
So that it's just a cold, hard decision based on what's best for public safety. Because the sheriff's role is to provide public safety for everyone. I don't pick and choose, well, I'm going to safeguard you because you're a U.S. citizen or legal, but you're illegal. I'm not going to, sheriff is not, that's not the role for the sheriff.
If you step foot on the U.S. soil, in LA County soil, you protect them.
You got to protect everybody.
Okay.
And ICE needs a job. They have a job to do. They got to secure the border first. Hello. And they got to do their job. They just can't do it in connection with local law enforcement. State prison, when they're releasing a undocumented person who is a convicted murderer, rapist, yeah. But they're already 3 or 4 steps removed from local law enforcement at that point. That's the perfect place to deport the bad guy, but not local law enforcement. They still got to work with everybody.
So what exactly did you do?
We removed ICE from the jails, and we also stopped accepting money from ICE. ICE was paying our county jails to give all the data on the undocumented who were in the jail so they could facilitate deporting them. I called that blood money, and I called out the board of supervisors for doing that.
Why is it a blood money?
Because
you just mentioned a minute ago that if he convicted a crime, you call the ICE, he gets deported.
But no, that happens at the state prison level. At the county jail level, I don't have that. I have misdemeanors arrest. Okay. I have people in for drunk driving. If they get convicted of a violent felony, well, they go to state prison.
Then you're good.
Out of my hands anymore. If they get deported after that, they need to. I don't want them around my county. But the county was trying to pretend that, oh, we're the best friend of the undocumented. We're the immigrants, supporters, this and that. At the same time, they were selling the data of the undocumented to ICE for money. From 2003 to 2018, 15 years, they made $122 million selling our database to ICE.
Let me get this. So taxpayers' money are being withdrawn from one account to another. From ICE to you.
Yes, the federal government's ICE, taxpayer money from the feds, ICE, came to the county of LA, and these were called SCAP grants. State Criminal Alien Assistance Program or something like that. And it was astonishing because the board was swearing and they were out there virtue signaling, oh, we're the immigrant's best friend, look at us, while they were stabbing them in the back behind closed doors. I found out, I called them out, I said, we're not going to accept this money anymore, it's blood money. And the CEO at the time told me, well, you're going to have to replace it. I said, no, that's money you never should accept it in the first place. It's blood money. That's where I use that phrase, blood money. And they got all indignant, but it's the truth.
Did Luna revoke this?
Huh?
Did Luna revoke this once he took office?
I don't know. I suspect he did. And they're just going to bury the information.
So
I have no doubt.
So they let people in, then that's a twisted system.
Oh, very twisted. Because remember, these are the same people that were supported by Chirla, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights Los Angeles, by all these immigrant advocate groups, the ACLU. Oh yeah, the county, they're the best. The sheriff, he's the bad guy. But I was the one that actually drew the line in the sand, kicked ICE out, stopped the scam grant funding. Something that they were trying to do for years, in fact, not years, decades. I did it with one stroke of the pen.